Hey, good morning, everyone. It is time for more Star Wars crap because there's more Star Wars crap. So we have Episode 9 leaks, Rey's father revealed, and it's not who you think. So this comes from express.co.uk. So take that with a grain of salt, if you will. Stefan Kiriavis, I guess, is how you say that. Hopefully I got that right. You know, one of the things I've noticed, and I didn't realize this when I watched the Force Awakens, and I've gone back and seen some stills, but Daisy Ridley just gets puffier and puffier. It's like even in the Last Jedi, there's scenes where she looks a little thinner in the face, and then I guess it's reshoots and she looks fatter. Now I don't know why. I don't know if there's a hormone imbalance. I don't know if it's that time of the month or whatever. But what it could be, and this is just a guess, is when they get these celebrities in shape, many times they have them doing a lot of cardio, and they'll thin out because of what they're eating very, very briefly. And then when they're not in that training mode, they'll put it all back on and they'll retain water and the cortisol levels go up and everything else. It could be that. I'm not saying it, but I've just noticed. But she looks puffier a lot. Well, the lips are puffier too, but I don't know. She still has that same look on her face. Anyway, Star Wars 9 leaks describe a powerful new scene with a young Rey and a hooded man. Is this her father? Is it really Luke Skywalker or even Qui-Gon Jinn? Qui-Gon, he died, in Episode 1, which is what, 40 or 50 years before Rey's born, right? And she's supposed to be in her 20s, and so that's 10 years after the Return of the Jedi. The new movies are what, 25 years or so. I guess that's probably the Return of the Jedi is supposed to be about 24, 25 years from the end of Episode 3. And Qui-Gon is another, I don't know, 10 years. It's just, I don't know, but okay, whatever. I don't know who this is. This site had a bunch of videos that I had to stop, which I really hate. I'm not sure why my ad blocker didn't whack them. It did whack some of them, but not all of them. Kylo Ren's revelation that Rey's father were nothing more than drunk lowlives chasing the next round of shots was not exactly what the fans were expecting. You know what? But Kylo's trying to manipulate her. So even in that frame of reference, it would not surprise me. I wouldn't be surprised if that was wrong, because he was trying to manipulate her to join him in ruling the galaxy. So that doesn't surprise me. That's it, not fully. This is one of those things that if you think back to the original trilogy, well, some of you weren't around, but I was. So when Vader says, "No, I am your father," there was a lot of speculation for 3 years that was just manipulation. And then Yoda then said, "Yes, your father he is." So it's possible that Kylo was right. But it wouldn't surprise me, at some point the new movies have to differentiate themselves at least a tiny bit from the original trilogy. I would hope. So they may say, nope, he was wrong. He was me, or he was lied to, right? That could have been what Snoke told him. The reactions, is safe to say, vary dramatically. Some were delighted by the bold subversion of expectations. It's not bold, and it wasn't a subversion in Star Wars mythology. Others were horrified. Yeah, but that's not really why. A betrayal is final nail in the coffin. No, the movie was horrible. It was very poorly put together. Watch. These people have not seen any, just watch Mahler's video. He goes practically scene by scene and how it's inconsistent with itself, let alone all of the lore. Now, I know some of the stuff like the force projections and stuff like that, Ryan pulled out of some other books and things that external materials. That's fine. Just because we've never seen a movie but anyway. And so a backlash was born. That's not why the backlash was born, you goofball. Stefan, that's really stretching. There's also a strong argument that Kylo was either lying or had been misled himself. See, there we go. And so now that filming on the final episode has gone, numerous reports, rumors, and leaks have been emerging. Yeah, I wonder why. So that they get some kind of interest for this movie. Look at Angry Rey. There, she can emote, you haters. Look at that. It's, of course, essential to take any of these with a pinch of salt, even if they were verified and may not make it to final cut. However, there's claims that Mark Hamill will shoot 2 scenes at Pinewood Studio with Daisy Ridley's Rey and Adam Driver's Kylo. There's even more tantalizing that the latest leaked scene describes, scene spelled wrong, may not even point to Luke as Rey. may not even point to Luke as Rey's long lost father or grandfather. Here's the thing, and what's her name? Oh, I used to follow her on YouTube. Young lady whose name I forget. She even pointed this out. No matter who her father and parents are, it's like, well, you left me alone to die. It's going to be gut wrenching. Luke described. I'm gonna not show the Halloween ad. Luke describes concept art for new scenes, one of which could tell us who's Rey's father, especially a young Rey or on Jakku at night next to a fire. In front of her is a man, an older man with a beige hood over his head, holding Rey's hand. Blah blah blah. Goes over the man without his hood. He has long brown hair and a ponytail, and end up in the upper back, clean shaven, and hopping on his speeder and leaving Rey. Could he be a Jedi? I would actually wouldn't mind fully if her parents ended up being nobodies. Look at the prequels. There's thousands of Jedi, right? So, and from all most likely all walks of life. We don't really know other than Anakin, but definitely a bunch of different species, man, woman, and probably everything in between. So the Force being in someone has a very, let's say, low background doesn't bother me. Just explain why she's more powerful than everybody else without training. Just explain that. Other than some magical thing that's the Force that's created her, whatever. Could it be a Jedi? Okay, long-haired ponytail and beige robe immediately calls to mind Qui-Gon Jinn. Not really, although it's a long shot. A lot of Jedi had beards. So did Obi-Wan had beard. Good grief. There have already been reports that a young girl was cast in Episode 9 should be acting with some of the new characters being introduced. Of course, we need new characters because why not? This could be the moment, abandoned on Jakku, for example. So, there's more. Okay, so see, Daisy Ridley's face here doesn't look as puffy. Maybe it's the angle. It could quite be. It could also be makeup and lighting. I don't know. This new scene, Leak doesn't sound that heart-wrenching dramatic unless the young Rey didn't know at the time it was the last time she would see her father. Now, we do have a flashback from her in the original movie where, the ship that's taken off, come back. Speculation also brings it. So we already know that she probably knows her parents abandoned her or something happened, or maybe they left thinking, we'll be back for you. And then they end up dying somewhere. Maybe we could get something, 12, 15 years after the Empire has fallen. Maybe there's another battle somewhere, some remnants of the Empire, a secret mission that goes sideways and they get killed. That would be interesting. Speculation also brings up the intriguing idea that her father is a Jedi, but not a famous iconic character like Luke, Qui-Gon. Oh, that's fine. Older theories linked her parents to the students at Luke's temple. What if both of her parents are Jedi? There are female Jedis. Even though Hamill himself shaved off his beard before filming Episode 9, surely Luke is just too obvious. I wouldn't want that to be her father. Why are you here, Rey, from nowhere? A new theory suggests that perhaps J.J. Abrams is continuing his pledge to reference as much prequel and original trilogy material. Steal, directly rip off, really reference? But what if his parents, father and parents were Jedi forced into hiding by Emperor? Okay. Yes, but that is a long time before she's around. So, Order 66. So we're talking, golly, again, 30 years before she's born, or let's see, she's 10 years or so after Return of the Jedi, and that's another, probably 30 some odd years before she's born. So that's crazy. Her parents would be what, 50s? Now I know she could look human. That's the other thing that could be the twist. Like a Vulcan or something where they look human but they really aren't. Maybe she isn't actually human. She's some other species. That's fine. I don't care as long as it's explained well within the universe and context of the movies without too much reliance on EU materials. Just use the other 6 movies and kind of explain what the heck's going on. Her father could have been a child at the time and never received formal training. No, that's fine. That would be her grandparents then that were Jedi that were hiding from Order 66 and her parents. This could explain Rey's inherent powers and her fascination with the old legends of heroes like Luke and Han. That I think partly, I think part of that's because, as we saw in Jakku, she was scavenging and finding things. The helmet, I think, was supposed to be from Red Squadron, and there's different hints and things that she didn't have a life, but she scavenges this stuff. And it's like, well, there's something that happened here that seems far more grandiose than what I have, and it's fantasy and stuff like that. But anyway, and also her total lack of direct knowledge of the Jedi could be. So actually, this article is not as crap as I thought it would be. But anyway, so we have 2 comments. No, she does not look like a bit like Jar Jar Binks, and just no, she does look a bit like Jar Jar Binks and is just as annoying. This rubbish Disney saga gets worse every day. How stupid do you think the people are? Her parents are Han and Princess Leia. I know they're not. Han doesn't recognize her. Who's the girl? Now, granted, maybe Leia is pregnant when Han runs off, and then there's no contact, and she never tells him. I just find that hard to believe. I mean, so much of the new trilogy is hard to believe at all, and so anyway, see there she's puffy again. But so there we go. So this is the latest Star Wars Episode 9 leak, and either people are just writing this and pretending it's leaks, which is possible, but I think a lot of this is just stuff coming out, like they sit around in a meeting and say, what are we going to leak today that may or may not have anything to do with the actual plot, just to keep interest. I mean, they've got a year and a half for this movie, almost a year and a half, right? It's December 2019. This is October. So, well, a year and 3 months, a year and 2 months. So that's quite a bit, and anticipation is very low because of Solo and because of The Last Jedi. I mean, look at Solo losing a minimum of $80 million. First Star Wars movie to lose money. And now I know a lot of the apologists are harping on the sales of Blu-ray. That's great. The Last Jedi sold that much. I think it's fascinating that it sold that much. It sounds like people wanted to, I don't know, buy it, but I don't also know how much of those sales are rentals and how much your local rental shop is not getting that thing rented. I don't know. But anyway, I think a lot of these leaks are, I think it's a combination of 2 things. One, it's clickbait. The other one, it's, because, like this thing, it's got multiple advertisements on it. But I think the other side of it is just fake attention and interest in this movie, and that Disney's trying to just prop up and keep going because the fan base is so split, and the number of people, the percentage of the fan base that are really looking forward to Plan 9 from outer space is significantly smaller than those even anticipating Episode 3. So and that's bad. That's very bad. So we'll see. All right. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for clicking like. And thanks so much for all the comments. And we'll see what other goofy news we've got later coming up. Bye.